Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question was suggested by a viewer. Thanks to the Mazder13 for this one. Nick controls an island in a flooded strand. During Amy's end step, he plays a brainstorm, and he uses it to put Temporal Mastery on top of his library. During Nick's draw step, he draws the Temporal Mastery. Can he play it for its miracle cost? Okay, so at first glance, your answer might be no to this question. If you've watched my series for a while, you might remember that the ability of Flooded Strand does not qualify as a mana ability, and that means it is not possible to activate this ability during the process of casting a spell. If you had something that did have a mana ability, like another island, it would be very simple to do this trick. All you'd have to do is move the Temporal Mastery onto the stack and say you were casting it, then you would have an opportunity during the process of casting it to activate mana abilities, and you would just tap your lands and then make the mana and then use that mana to pay the cost of casting it. Simple. However, you cannot activate the ability of Flooded Strand in the process of casting a spell since it is not a mana ability. That means you'll have to activate that ability before you cast the Temporal Mastery, and we can see how that might introduce a couple of problems given the fact that it shuffles your library. In order to answer this question then, we're going to have to take a look at the comprehensive rules and see exactly what Miracle means. As you can see here, Miracle means that if this is the first card you've drawn this turn, you can reveal it as you draw it, and when you do that, you're able to cast it for its miracle cost. People who are very observant might have noticed the word win in there, and that's a really great sign. The reason is because abilities that use the word win are triggered abilities, and triggered abilities go on the stack, and therefore can be responded to. Notice that this triggered ability triggers when you draw the card, which means that by the time that triggered ability gets put onto the stack, the miracle card is already in your hand. That means that we don't have to worry about shuffling our library if we respond to that trigger. So it is possible to put this triggered ability on the stack and then activate your fetch land in order to get an additional mana producing land onto the battlefield before the ability that lets you cast the spell with Miracle resolves. Very awesome trick, and one that's very important to know if you're playing a Miracles deck in Legacy. There are certainly players in Magic's history who have used this trick, for example, to fetch for a white source in response to a Terminus trigger that let them cast it where they otherwise would not have been able to, or to get an additional mana producing land on the battlefield in time to make a bigger X payment for an Entreat the Angels. Very awesome. And that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again tomorrow for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.